Hey, it's Wednesday, so we're back to a bit of Call of Cthulhu with these lovely women who I torture over the internet for your enjoyment. Jumping right into it, we spent the last episode exploring a few relationships and having a bit of sense of urgency after waking up Zero from his prophetic dream / coma, where you have all discovered that in a week's time there will be a mass gathering of cultists who are going to fulfill whatever plan they have in store, the details of which are not entirely clear. All that was given is that they are going to be gathering. Disrupt them too early and they will simply disperse and repeat their process somewhere else, and you'll be back to square one. Go there too late and obviously you'll be too late to actually do anything to stop them. So this requires precision timing for an assault that you are not entirely sure what you're assaulting or what you're facing against. You only know that they are gathering. You are already aware that they are armed after the attack on Jake's house. So you know that they have a supply of weapons and may or may not have the police chief in their pocket, which also is another problem. With the realization of an impending doom that may or may not be prevented depending on how you proceed with this, several of you have decided to mend a few relationships or further some relationships in another direction, of which some more public than others, unfortunately. But regardless, you have all spent the last day with respective partners doing what you perceive to be a good thing to do right before the end, or what could possibly be the end. With that, you will start from this point on another 6 days until this attack, and we will be exploring what you're going to be doing with those 6 days. The preparations are being made by the initiative, but all of you are involved in this one way or another. You are not meant to be involved in the assault as they are the military group. However, there's a suspicion that your involvement may be needed given that you are the ones directly affected to this, and if you do not join them, there's a very good likelihood that you will be forced into it at some point anyway. So might as well involve you early on. With that, we're going to start looking into your individual lives one by one, beginning with MJ. Basically waking up next to Luke, who, although awake, has refused to leave your side the entire time.
Morning.
Morning. I'd get you coffee, but I just remembered I ran out of beans.
Why do you not have instant in your room? Place? Should we order?
I'll get you some. Don't worry about it. There should be 1 or 2 instant packets left. You doing okay?
Alright. Yeah. Just, shit. I'm gonna check my phone. Because I believe I failed to text my father that I was with Luke.
Yes. He did not. What I mean is Luke did not.
So
basically,
he did send a message, yeah.
Basically when you start rampaging for your phone, he just kind of, and let your father know you're staying over.
Thanks. I didn't want to worry him.
I know.
You can take care of the coffee. I'll go make breakfast.
He's kind of looking up and there's really nothing to cook.
Promise? Come on, not even eggs.
There might be 1 or 2, I guess.
I'll do with sunny side up for the day, then we can go grocery shopping later.
I suppose.
I'm just gonna tug on the sheets. Then I'm gonna make a toga.
Yep.
A very swift toga around my body and just go to the kitchen.
Yep.
I'll wash your blankets after. I'm gonna say that while just waddling towards the kitchen.
You don't have to. I have my laundry done. It's fine. and just get stressed. You make some breakfast, you talk to each other. Over on the table, we have whatever eggs you could come up with. He's got like one, generously speaking, 2 eggs. Some leftover meat that you could very generously describe as bacon, I suppose, if you tried hard enough. It could qualify, maybe. And he does have some instant coffee. That's not the best thing in the world, but you know, it gets you through the day, and that's all that matters at this point. You're not exactly in any condition to be to really be picking at this point. And it doesn't really matter.
She's not exactly picky, yeah. It doesn't really matter to her.
So, while you're having this lovely meal, surprisingly, there are no interruptions. There's no message from Zero. There's no dire need for you to be out and save the world. There's no interruptions. There's no eavesdropping. There's no problems that arise from this. It's a perfectly normal day, and although it started off a little awkward because you and Luke, it eventually just melted into how you usually do things, like nothing really happened, so things are fairly as expected. Surprisingly, there's nothing that interrupts this, other than that sinking feeling in the back of your head that this is the calm before the storm. You want to do anything or talk about anything while you are here?
MJ's going to gather the plates after they eat, and then she's just going to wash it and say, "The two of us never really got to talk recently. Anything new happened with you?"
He gently nudges you to the side and starts washing it. "Housewife doesn't suit you." And he cleans it.
"Well, you do look cute as a house husband." Then I'm just gonna cling on him from behind and just like continue with the conversation and say, "So, anything happened? Anything new?"
No, I got the charity up and running. I'm just gonna take a few days for the infrastructure.
That's good.
If I'm being honest with you, I just can't shake the feeling that something's up. Don't get me wrong, last night was great. I would trade it for the world, but it's unlike you. You know, you're the kind of person that is driven by something, and when you make a decision, something's always behind it. But I can respect if you can't tell me, because I do trust that you made a choice and that you won't regret it, and that you weren't forced into it, but I just can't shake the feeling that something's off. Not really in a good way or bad way, just different. That's all.
Well, it would be a lie to say that it's not the truth. Like, she can feel that that MJ's hug is getting tighter. She's trying to ponder over if she's going to tell or not.
He holds your hands, just puts it together, and then he interrupts you. You don't need to say anything if you're not comfortable, or if you don't want to, or if there's something keeping you from it. Like I said, I don't really want to pry into your private business. I would rather believe that you'd tell me when you have to, or when you can.
I know. I just, I'll pull through this. I promise you that.
I'll be here waiting.
Yeah. If anything, I would, are you going to be busy for the next week?
Not really. I'm just waiting on a few calls which aren't expected till the end of the month, so nothing on my plate, I guess.
If that's the case, then I'd like us to spend more time together.
MJ Stone,
He's just
are
going to
you...
lean on his. He's just going to lean on the back of
Yeah.
his shoulder. The back of his shoulder.
If you lean in, given you're still in sheets, assuming, or a shirt or something, you're going to feel. You're going to feel some of the stitches on his back. They look like stitches from maybe scratch marks that go too deep. Not like the stab wound that's on his body, but definitely stitches or healed skin. Not really stitches, but healed skin that sort of left lumps. As you lean, he just kind of... MJ Stone, are you getting soft on me?
Not getting soft. I'm gonna, like knee the back of his knee, to make him buckle up.
Ah!
I just want to be spoiled. That sounds about right. I just want to be spoiled for the week.
Okay, but I will remind you that you wanted this. He has a smug smile on his face.
No present.
Oh, I never said anything about presents.
That's good. No presents. That's clear line. I just want to spend time with people that I care about.
Sounds great. Just kind of clean things up. I think I got the best day ahead of you. For the day. I got something in mind.
Looking forward to it. And does it require clothes? Because I'm actually getting used to this toga.
Yes, it requires clothes unless you're of a freaky variety. Not judging, but
some things are better left inside the bedroom. Then I'm just going to let go and go to the room and say, well, fuck. He can hear me screaming from the room and say, well, fuck, I don't have decent clothes with me. Robbing your wardrobe. Then I'm gonna rummage through his wardrobe after that.
He just kind of yells to you and says, I think I got a few shirts that'll fit you. Look through the larger walk-in closet in my mom's room. There's some stuff there that I was supposed to give you, but should fit you. It's your size.
I just said no presents, damn it. Although I am walking towards the walk-in closet.
They were bought before you said anything. Doesn't count.
I'm still gonna look for it anyway.
He obviously can't buy you underwear for obvious reasons, but he has a bunch of clothes for you that you can use. Some really nice shirts, some pants, things that you would normally wear, just of a different variety, brand, and stylizing. Some ripped jeans. Enough for you to kind of make do with what you have. Plus, you went on a pretty long drive from home. I would assume that you carried some kind of bag if this was your intention all along. It would be safe to say that you had some kind of extra clothes or stuff in your bag, maybe? No?
No.
Okay. Fair.
She only brought her phone and her wallet with her.
Fair. Then you'll have to reuse a few things. Or
That's
wash
fine.
them. You can just wash them. Here, he has an electric dryer, so it's fine. You can do some laundry, spend a couple hours doing laundry, fixing clothes, and... However, when he told you that, there was sort of he just remembered he got it. So you did have a moment to kind of look through his wardrobe. As he said, there's a few shirts you can use there. There is something that you find in that wardrobe. Or there is something you might find. Roll me a spot hidden.
Oh boy. Hey, rolling spot hidden. Why are my d20s all over the place?
It's not bad.
I passed.
Fast. Mark that on your sheet, please. Okay.
Yeah.
Going through, you've got his usual things: some shirts, some pants, some sort of shorts for jogging, some of his exercise stuff, and nothing that really fits you. He's got a sort of athletic build for a guy, so it's sort of a little wider than your usual girl. But there's something interesting that you find under all of it. It's a red sort of velvet textured box. It's just a rectangle, like a rectangular container. It's sort of red and velvet. And it has your name sort of embroidered on the velvet in gold lettering, just MJ? How's your curiosity?
It's pretty bad, I'd say. At this, like, she's going to get dressed, then she's going to be sitting by the wardrobe, like on the floor, leaning on the wardrobe. Then she's waiting for Luke, like deliberately, while sitting there.
If you've already gotten dressed, and that's assuming you've spent like a few hours to kind of shower, fix the lawn, wash and electrically dry. So when you finish all of that, Luke eventually just shows up to take his shower with the towel. Just any reason you're sitting on the floor?
Pointing at it. I found something while I was rummaging. I thought would it be good to open it?
Well, if you had an eye for detail, you'd see this. And then he points to the corners of the box. They're a little old. Like the box itself is old. Uh-oh. MJ. There you go. So if he points to the corners of the box, and you would notice that the box is a little old. Like worn out already. He says, you know when I moved back here 2 years ago after my mom passed? Let's just say I've only ever had 2 girlfriends, and I never really got over the one I never got in high school. I was playing just. This was supposed to be something I would give you to ask you out, maybe. But at the same time, it was supposed to just open it. Yeah, see the box.
Well, about asking out, I beat you to it, didn't I? Then I'm gonna like put it on my lap and open it.
Yeah, you did. You opened the box. It's about this big, by the way. It's really thin and about this big. You open it and you expect jewelry of some kind. But
yeah, like a necklace.
What you get is a letter. Under the letter is a piece of it's a pendant. It's an amber pendant. But what you get mostly is the letter. And Luke just says he's gonna take a shower. Feel free to read it as he leaves. In the letter,
moving towards the bed, and then she's going to read it.
In the letter, it reads from Luke's handwriting, obviously. This kind of reads there. MJ, high school. You know, I never thought the nerdy kid who was good at math would ever have a shot with you. I was not exactly the best looking then. I was a nerd. Wasn't exactly the coolest guy there. You and Jake had to watch for my ass, otherwise I get beat every time. Didn't think that I'd ever have the guts to even approach you to ask you out, especially after a while I started to think that you might be gay. Regardless, I'm back now. And after my mom passed, I realized that time is short. And there's too many things going on to have any doubts. And I've been through some terrible relationships. Been stabbed. That's a story for another time, I suppose. But I've always regretted never taking a shot, you know. Maybe I won't have a shot, and maybe you will reject me, and maybe this letter will make everything awkward and we won't speak to each other ever again. But I don't know if that's worth losing the what if, but either way, I'd like for you to have this. It's a small piece of amber. It's the last gift I ever got from my mom before she started getting sick. Back from her trip from Western Europe. Remember how I used to like Jurassic Park a lot? That little fly was encased in amber. She just got it for me. It was, and still is, the most important thing that I own. In fact, I'm afraid to wear it because I might break it. Despite what you might think of me, I've been through a lot of fights that I didn't want. A lot of people don't like me. Los Angeles is a pretty terrible place. I just didn't want to lose this. Just like you, I suppose. I want you to have it. Gift from me to you. And then just signs Luke. The amber stone does have a small hole that can be put with a rope or a chain, a thin chain maybe.
She's going to like gently put the amber and the letter back inside the box, and she's going to walk in the bathroom.
Okay.
Is it locked or not?
Probably not. He wouldn't expect you to be walking in.
He's walking in.
Okay.
And what happens in the bathroom stays in the bathroom.
I see.
The conversation is
Understood.
after. Or
Understood.
after. Oh, it fell.
Okay. You walk in. He's visibly surprised. We fade to black from that point until he eventually finishes about an hour or so later than he intended for his bath. Once you've gotten dressed and gotten prepared. Again, despite, in a very Luke fashion, despite the scenario being, you know, a guy's sort of wet dream scenario, there's a very honest sense of truth to it. There's a sense of vulnerability that he gives off. It's like you've had a toxic relationship before, so you would understand that, you know, some guys would take this as a dominant thing, like you're throwing yourself. With Luke, it feels vastly different because it feels like by agreeing to this, he's actually the one leaving himself vulnerable along with you, instead of just you being vulnerable. Which is sort of an honest feeling that you know, the way he touches, the way he moves, the way he takes care of you. It just feels very real. As you finish and you get dressed and everything's done and you're essentially about to leave the home. He just sort of sits down. Yeah, to leave the house. If you want to talk to him about it, you can, but okay.
I'd just like to make a point that I did bring my toothbrush and toothpaste. That's something I did bring.
He has a guest one anyway, so it's fine.
Brushing in the car. Yeah, I was brushing in the car, so I had it in the car at some point.
You want to talk to him before you guys just head off? And we skip to another player?
Yeah, I'm just gonna ask him, like, once we're inside the car, I'm gonna ask him, are you open to talk about
the letter?
The letter. Then she's going to touch her shoulder, like where she felt the scar.
I suppose it's easier for me if you just ask. Wouldn't know where to start, really.
How did it happen?
It was the most recent one. First one I had after leaving. Her name was Kaylee. She was sweet. We broke up on good terms. She's still a friend. You know, we just didn't connect. But it was mutual and it was on good terms. The next one, Riley, she was sweet at first. And she really didn't do anything for the money, I can tell you that. But I don't know, she was possessive, let's say. I did business. I had to meet with business partners. I had to go on dinners, and every business date she took as a romantic one. As long as it was a woman, she didn't like it. She didn't like the picture I had of our group with you, me, Jake, just because you were there. Funny thing, she was actually insecure about you. Kind of tells you. He just kind of winks at you. But it was a low point in my life. At that point, a lot of the friends I made there weren't like you or Jake or Shane or Elaine. We were there for the money. If I couldn't provide the cash, they wouldn't hang out. If I need someone to lean on, they'd ask me to open up to them in the most expensive steakhouse in Los Angeles. I was desperate and stupid. I just wanted someone to care. Unfortunately, she was the one who was there. And by the time she started showing her real colors, or her true colors, I was already stupidly in the hole and I couldn't get out. So at one point she stabbed me. It was a butter knife, but steak knife, whatever. It needs some stitches, nothing major. She would scratch, use some cutters, and at some point I just thought that was it. That she was the only one who would ever actually care about me, so I went with it. She just kept hurting me for those years. When my mom got sick and went here, she told me not to leave. She told me I didn't need her, and she told me it doesn't matter, and that if I left, she'd leave me. At that point, initially I decided to stay because I was desperate. And I lost 6 weeks with my mom. I gave her the money and she was cared for, but it was 6 weeks of what would become her short life that I couldn't have anymore. I had enough of it and I broke it off and I left, not caring what she would say. That's when I came back. Remember all those times Shane or Jake would grab my hand and do a bro hug? And look, I'm sure you noticed it. I had a bit of a squirm and I always said that I had just backaches or flight pains. Then there were scars that still needed to be patched up again. Scars that were still fresh. That's pretty much it, in a nutshell.
I see.
Never wanted to tell anyone because I didn't want anyone to see how low I really got. How desperate to be loved I became. Everyone sees me as the handsome rich guy who can get any girl he wants. You see, that's the thing. When you've got everything, it gets really hard to find someone who wants you and not the things that you have. It gets increasingly hard. There you go. I guess. That's I guess that's it. Or that's everything.
Just like, going to hold his hand like a bit tight.
Okay. Hold on a sec. Just 1 minute. One minute. Okay, sorry about that. The Philippine internet, what are you gonna do, right? Screen? Okay. So he just kind of tells you that's it.
Yeah, I'm going to hold his hand like a bit tightly and just say, I'm glad we got away from that situation. Really.
Took too long. 4 years. Like I said,
Yeah.
I didn't want anyone to see that I was desperate to be loved. You have everything?
I mean,
It's hard to tell who wants you for who you are and who wants you for what you have. And at some point you just start accepting whoever just wants you.
yeah. I'm not exactly foreign to the idea. If you don't mind indulging, there's something that even my dad doesn't know, to be perfectly honest. Nick and I kept it a secret. I made him promise not to tell anyone.
Go ahead.
When you left, I was, I'd already told you that Jake and I ended up
Getting high?
getting high, and it ended really badly for the both of us.
I remember.
Yeah, it was not exactly a good stage of my life. Let's just say that this is one of those times where you have a series of bad decisions that just snowballed into terrible things.
I'm familiar.
Yeah. I met the bastard then. I thought, you know how the font that I was putting up, the strong, non-wavering, everyone can go fuck off font that I used to have when I was in high school.
Yeah, I remember.
He was there. It was kind of messed up because I was young and very impressionable, and he was there. I thought he was great. He taught me a lot of things, and I was eager to learn them. I was eager to impress, and one thing led to another. He dragged me into it. It was not a yes or no situation. It was more of you should do this to impress me kind of. That was the feeling that I got. He never really said that, but that's how it felt. So I went for it until it escalated into something really bad. He pushed me into things that I didn't feel comfortable with, and then I'm gonna point to the burn marks, the cigarette burns. That happened. Nick was the one who
Jake?
saw me.
Nick. The detective.
The police.
Okay.
Yeah. Nick was the one that saw me in that situation, and he had to threaten the guy because it's illegal, and if he told him that if he sees his face again in this place, he's going to shoot him down or drag him to the cell. I don't exactly know what kind of threats he pulled in, but I never saw him again after that. I'm not unfamiliar with the desire to be wanted or the desire to be loved. It's just you get dragged into things that you don't exactly.
I guess.
Yeah. I guess we were just both stupid. This wouldn't have happened to the both of us if we had just the guts to confess before, but if anything, at least it made me a stronger person, I think. That's probably the worst consolation there is after that. No one deserves to go through that, but
I'll be
it's glad
honest.
it's over.
Things like that don't really make you stronger. They just make you different.
That it does. That it does.
But this happened after I left, right? A year or so, maybe?
Mhm.
Because there was a time when Detective Nick gave me a call.
What did he say?
Nothing, actually. It was weird. He was a cop calling me. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I was further away from everyone else that you'd never find out. He asked for a loan. A year after I left, I started to make some good money. And Detective Nick was always there for me. He asked for a loan and he made it very clear it wasn't for him and it was for one of my friends. And I kind of guessed Shane's pretty well off. He's taking care of Elaine. Jake doesn't need my money. So it must have been you. I loaned him the money. When I came back 2 years ago, I talked to him. Casually, just asked him. He never told me what that loan was for, Nick. He needed the funding for a task force. And they were short a couple of thousands. That guy... he's in prison for life. Nick never wanted me to tell you. In fact, he never even told me who the guy was. Just said that he was a scumbag that didn't deserve to be out in the free world. And that's all the reason I needed. I've trusted Nick. Guess that was the right choice.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm saying is there's a lot of people looking out for you. Me included.
Yeah. The fucker deserved it, to be perfectly honest. I don't even know why I ended up liking him.
Why do you think I ended up in a 4-year relationship of getting stabbed?
Young and stupid, right?
There was a time I wish she would have just gone for the heart, to be honest.
Yeah. I get that.
Scars we have,
But
we
I'm
can't.
glad she didn't.
Scars we have, we can't get rid of. But we paved the way forward, I like to think.
That's a better way to put it. Yeah.
A bit of traffic as he leans in to kiss you gently. Just... It's never gonna happen again.
Yeah, I promise.
He just kind of smiles. Feel free to do what you want with the amber, by the way. Just take care of it for me.
I'm actually like, it's going to be like, she has this really long necklace. God. And like on the necklace there's like multiple trinkets on it. Like you can see the pendant that he gave, the other things, the moon pendant. It's a collection of trinkets basically on her neck.
She, you remember this, by the way, because he did not come from a well-off family. That trip to Western Europe was a business thing. And it was one of her many part-time jobs as a saleswoman. It was one of the hardest things she's had to do. So that's why Luke sort of appreciates it a lot. But yeah, he's sort of handing it to you. Do some groceries, and the last thing before we skip here, Luke just kind of looks at you at the parking lot in the car and just says, I can't promise we won't hurt each other. That's unrealistic. But I can promise. Just lifts his shirt to show a scar, the biggest scar, and this won't happen again. Sort of holds where your burn is. And this won't happen again. And I can't promise that we'll work things out the right way. Because I don't think either one of us. Because I don't think either one of us would want to ruin what we got now.
Yeah.
Halfway sounds nice.
Is this the time where... Is this the time where we discuss if we're gonna have kids in the future? Because I don't think I can carry a baby.
Was never into kids that much anyway.
That's true. I am open to the idea of adopting, but that's for next time.
Maybe one that's not crying every night. Yeah?
Maybe someone who's a bit older enough not to die when they trip.
Sounds like a plan. Opens the door.
I'm sitting.
Opens your door. And you guys have some grocery time, and I'll get to what he does for the end of the day. Actually, no, let's do this by player so we don't shift between people. You start the day with groceries, but most of them are frozen and designed to be cooked later on. Stock his house and he brings you out. You travel to the outside of town, just past the lighthouse, to a cliff you guys are familiar with. The one
Actually, when they pass by the lighthouse, it's going to be like a really... I'm just gonna go like weirdly quiet while looking at the lighthouse as they pass through there. Like, probably like mid-conversation, she's going to stop and just stare at it, like slightly ominously. Then
you doing alright?
Yeah. I'm fine.
Okay. You drive to the cliff where you can overlook the town. tells you to wait by a tree, comes back with a red and white checkered blanket from the 50s and an actual picnic basket.
This is so retro.
You complaining?
Not really. I am appreciating it. I've always wanted to have a picnic.
You have a picnic under the largest tree outside of town. You hands you some food. You eat. It's still sort of winter cold settling in, but it's comfortable with him. A few hours into a conversation, some talk, some laughs. There's a few fireworks to get set off. Just right on time. Great company.
So when exactly did you plan this? As far as I know, the two of us are not supposed to meet yesterday.
You want the truth? Or you want to keep it a mystery?
Ah, you fucker. Fine, I'll take your mystery as it is. I'll just think that the great old Luke is at it again.
I can tell you if you want to know. It's actually not that complicated.
Yeah, tell me. I'm gonna die of curiosity if you don't.
I prepaid the team that did this. Told them that I paid them a premium to be on notice whenever I wanted it. So while you were debating what kind of floor to put in my kitchen, I just sent them the text.
That's fair. That's fair. It's beautiful.
Feel free to say no. I won't take offense to it. In fact, I'd be a little concerned if you didn't say no and just kind of get freaked out for a bit. I'd actually be really concerned if you didn't freak out. That'd be weird.
I mean, if you're into feet, then I'm not really judging you.
No, you idiot. I mean, I do think I'm into scars now, but that's besides the point.
I mean, yeah, I kind of agree with that one. They have a charm, a charisma in them.
Everyone's gonna call me an idiot, and that's fine. You're gonna freak out.
You're freaking me out right now, so might as well just be upfront about it.
Never got over you. Girlfriend here. That's the reason me and my first broke up is because she could tell that I wasn't over you. And she didn't want to keep me, in her own words, she didn't want to keep me chained knowing that I belonged to someone else, in her own words. Second one, like I said, I got desperate. It's actually the first girl that slapped the shit out of me and convinced me to finally leave. Just so you know. She's a great person, I think you two would get along. But, I don't know, okay? You spilled some stuff on my jacket and you were the best friend I had. You were the only time I ever felt safe.
Yeah?
Fuck it, I'm not good at this. He reaches in the picnic basket and shows you a box. Right about the size of a ring, give or take. Feel free to freak out. Feel free to say no. Feel free to take my car and drive home. I can walk. Time doesn't define a relationship. That's what I realized. 4 years with her, another 2 years for the first one, and nothing ever compared to the last few days and weeks with you. Sure, I might be jumping the gun. Probably. I don't really care. We've cared for you for a long time. And that hasn't changed despite everything I've gone through. I don't think it can. So slowly pulls the box away and just, this was probably a bad idea. Kind of pulls it away and just pockets and just, I'm sorry for making things awkward.
Oh, come on! You're gonna stop there? I'm just
Alright,
gonna like
fine.
show my left hand.
I've always cared for you. Nothing's ever changed. That story you told me earlier, anything you've ever told me, all the secrets you keep. Everything you're not telling me, I don't care. Because even if you don't tell me everything, there's a part of me that knows you're not doing it to hurt me, and you wouldn't keep it from me if you knew it would hurt. And if you did, then you would have a reason for it. That's the only time in my life I've ever felt like that. I felt safe enough to assume that the only reason you would hide something from me is to keep me safe, and I appreciate it. So while everyone else would be insulted by it, I just care for you, and I love you. And if you say no, I'm jumping off the cliff, but will you marry me?
You know,
I'm sorry,
I said
that's
I'm into
emotional
scars. I
blackmail.
never said it is emotional blackmail. I did say I'm into scars, although I'm not ready to see you with the lost limb or something.
I'm sorry, that's not what I meant. Sort of. Look, you can say no, you can say it's too early, I won't take offense to it.
To be perfectly honest, I think we've been apart from each other for way too long already. Looking forward to living the rest of my life with you. And it's a yes, so please don't jump off the cliff. Just... Also, I am going to be really... I'm eager to see how you're going to pull this on my father.
Well... Kinda already did.
Ah, God, I wasn't there in that conversation. That sucks.
Well, you go out a lot.
I've been busy, yeah. So what did he say?
I'm all for it. But if you ever hurt her, I have a shotgun with your name on it.
Also, I'm pretty sure he's thinking internally, if I do hurt you, he's probably going to shoot me down too.
He has always just wanted you to be happy, and in his own words, you can confirm it or not, but he's never seen you happier than you are now.
Yeah.
He puts the
He's
ring on
right.
your finger.
She gonna put it.
I am really good at guessing your size.
It's starting. Were you measuring my fingers when I was asleep?
No, actually. I should have done that, but no.
You should have, but it fits like a glove.
I love you.
Thank you. I love you too.
He just gives you a kiss while the fireworks continue. And we'll end your night there.
Nothing happened. I'm so happy.
Next, we move on to Amy. In your version of this day, you awaken in Zero's flat, this sort of second floor warehouse place that he's turned into a room. So it's not the most aesthetically pleasing apartment in the world, but it works.
Yeah.
You awaken actually alone in bed as you start reaching for him, he's not there, and you see him walking. He's in his gym shorts, he's kind of carrying a tray, and there's some food on it that's been cooked.
Hi.
Morning. I made you breakfast.
Oh. What time is it?
Points to the clock, it's about 9 a.m., 9:30.
Huh.
Yes, I have called your place of business.
Wait, already? Wait, what did you tell them?
I told them that I was an art dealer that required your services for the day, and that they would that the museum would be graciously compensated if you would lend me your services for the day. For the week, actually.
Oh,
Budget approved by the initiative, so don't worry about it. I mean, I was gonna use MJ's credit card, but you know, didn't seem right.
okay. Be over it. Be over it. It's for...
Jess has taken over the initiative, and she is handling the planning, and if she needs me, she will call me. But that does mean that while she's doing the planning, I am free to spend the week how I choose to see fit, as I am one of the few people, with you and your group included, who are going to be in the front lines of this, to see it to the end. So, I would rather spend the week with you.
Oh. That's so sweet of you.
Just so you know, I am actually quite an excellent chef. But I don't have the most excellent ingredients, but I did what I can. You see scrambled eggs, strips of bacon excellently cooked, and some orange juice. A very old school breakfast, but it's really good. Probably the low quality of pork that kind of brings it down, but it is the best that he can do. He wasn't kidding.
Oh, I like it. It tastes nice, huh? I just found them cool.
Oh, yes. Your boss should have a message for you, something about do your best, make sure you treat the art director properly, and put your best foot forward. Something along those lines. Points to your phone that you have an unread message from your boss. Unread, and when you open it, it is exactly what he said. The art director is an important client. Make sure you do this properly. You will get a raise if he gives you good feedback. Well, I suppose your future in the museum is now reliant on my feedback of you, Miss Schweid.
How would I explain this to her?
Well, I'm the one explaining. After all, it is my feedback of your performance that she is waiting for. He sits down. Don't worry about it. I've got something written. You're fine. Just eat. I've already told your cousin that you were staying here. Her specific words were, just don't knock up my cousin and you're fine.
Okay, she already knows.
Despite her quirks, she's very perceptive of these sorts of things.
Yes, she is.
Listen, why don't you eat and get dressed? There's something I want to show you. You finish up. He finishes. You guys, you use his shower, which again, despite the not so aesthetic location, is rather clean. He is very well organized despite the location where he is. You get dressed, you prepare. You get on his usual car, not the initiative armored car, but his regular car, and it's a silent drive. He doesn't really open up much in the drive that takes about 30 minutes or so. But he brings you to the forest. A lovely little part of the forest that you don't necessarily frequent too often. It's a beautiful landscape. The town is not visible. You can hear the birds, you can hear the water creaking, you can hear the river flowing. It's silent in the sense that a forest only has the sound of nature to it, and you can't hear the outside, you can't hear the city, you can't hear anything. It's just there. He takes you further in, he doesn't say anything, he's completely quiet, but he just asks you to follow him. Eventually you make it to up a very tall cliff or hill, and then from that hill there's this sort of large cave-like opening, like a letter C, with some jagged stalactites on the top, and it's sort of a path that goes through. As you go through there is a cave opening to the left where you sort of enter, and he gives you a miner's hat with this large LED bulb as a flashlight. Tells you to watch your step. He's bringing you down the cave spelunking, essentially, and he's brought some spelunking equipment with him. You get dressed, he helps you. I would ask you to roll your climb with a bonus dice for his help.
Good luck.
Go, Amy.
Your climb is at a base of 20% because you don't have anything on it. But you do have a bonus dice, so you roll the percentile twice and take the better combination, the lower number. What do you get?
I got an 11.
11! Okay, you succeed. Basically if you failed, he'd just help you out. But if you, since you succeed, you show more prowess in spelunking than you let on. Like, there's a genuine look of impressment on his face. Like, the kind of look that says, you didn't tell me you cave dived. As you kind of move down. When you get down, you find this almost magical looking place. It's an underground river, not uncommon for caves, but there are a number of fireflies here that sort of illuminate the area, giving this underground river a more watery, luminescent glow that's not common amongst rivers of this sort. Normally this place would be very dark, but there is an opening at the top of the cave that sort of just gives way to some sunlight to allow it to what's the word? To allow it to illuminate the place, and some fireflies on the area that give you some sense of light. A cluster of fireflies are just kind of flying all over the place. He just sits there. He brings out a blanket, a very soft one that's almost like a roll-up mattress for you guys to sit on. As he sits there, there's a bit of silence as he doesn't speak for a bit, until you hear him breathe and just... When I first got to this place, I was sent here to investigate. There's a lot of rumors surrounding this cave, a lot of supernatural things. I was told to check it out, so I did. Nothing. I didn't find anything. It was a waste of my day, but I did find this place. And I thought... I know. I actually thought that in my entire life of being a soldier, going to war, and the only thing that ever surrounded me was death, bullets, blood, anything beautiful I was sent to destroy, or had to see destroyed before my eyes. All of it. I'm an agent of destruction. I'm sent to kill things. That's what I'm good at. So to find a place like this, so full of life, light, beauty. At first it reminded me of my fiancée. Of a time when I wasn't just a killing machine. When I wasn't just a soldier with a gun who's being pointed at the next target. After what happened with the watch and I lost all my emotion over that, I still feel the guilt and the pain of it. I hated this place. Those sleepless nights you found me, it wasn't so much working as I was going by here back and forth. I hated it because it still reminds me of her. And like I told you, every reminder of her is a reminder of what I've lost and what I will never have back and what I had to give up. Over time, I began to realize that she's gone. Not just her, but her memory. And whatever feelings that linger is gone. All that's left is guilt. And that'll never go away. That pain never goes. But it's not the only thing there. It doesn't have to be the only thing there. If I walk away and never try again, then I don't do her justice. Then the sacrifice I made is for nothing, and she is gone for nothing. So it was in this cave that I made a choice. The night before I went to MJ's party and gave you that letter and the necklace, I went here. I made a choice. She's gone and I can't have it back, but I'm not going to make that sacrifice worthless. I used to think that I need to close myself off so that it would mean something, but I need to do the opposite. I need to let someone in again. This is my way of saying that I'm letting you in. Or at least I'm going to try harder.
I will have that necklace with me.
Keep it.
I did promise.
Keep it. It's yours. He just looks away and so am I.
I'm going to hug him. I'm never letting you go. You're mine.
You might want to loosen that grip a little bit. I do still have a few scars there.
Sorry.
It's fine. We'll see if it's through the end. And then we move forward. I already have a story set for the police department as to why I pose as a doctor. Oh, and at some point MJ's father told me that you're gonna have to watch out for her neighbor. She's probably gonna give you the stink eye for a long time.
I don't mind.
Yeah, I'm just telling you. Best to let you know. In any case. No. That's it.
Thank you for taking me this place.
Of course. He just kind of sits there with you and brings out some food. Basically some packed lunch, something to eat, and just stays there with you, and eventually these fireflies are joined by the sound of cicadas and crickets echoing throughout the acoustics of the cave. At midnight, when it's about time to leave, because it will get too dark to leave if you don't move, starts climbing up, and you end up back outside into the nature. The same space that you were in earlier. And he doesn't take you back yet. Again, a silent drive seems to be his thing. Eventually taking you to this cabin in the woods. It's a small log cabin. He brings you inside, and there's a small fireplace, very manual, that has to be manually lit. Some firewood is already placed in a spruced up cabin that's already pretty old. This says, I found a resident of Lakewood who owned this place. He rents it out to people. I figured it would be a nice place to spend the night.
Oh, reminds me of my family's cabin. We used to have a lake house in this area.
Pretty nice place, I think. Listen. He just kind of bows. You hear the nature, a little bit of the city in the back, until he eventually stops and just kind of looks at you. I have never been good with words. Okay. But let's pause that for a minute, I guess, while she's gone. And let's do a bit of a jump cut to Wim right now. Wim, you spent the night in Haley's house, playing games and pizza and everything in between. Your mom is aware, and your mom does have the paid for person who's going to take care of everything. While here, you wake up a little late in the day. You hear the sounds of the outside world, the cars, the suburban area that you stay in. And you can hear the knives and the forks and the plates clashing already as breakfast is already being eaten. There's a note beside you that on the bed, on the sort of foldable bed you slept in Haley's room, that just says, "Breakfast downstairs. Join us."
During their time playing video games and all, is it? That's okay. I'll just have her go down and have breakfast with Haley. She has a serious look on her face.
Okay. You sit down. You have breakfast. Says, "Morning. You okay there?"
Yeah. I remember the time you had to see somebody because you weren't feeling all right after what happened in the lighthouse.
Yeah. Not exactly a good time, but yeah.
I think I need to see somebody.
Oh.
I was wondering if you could join me. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna tell my mom about it eventually. I just wanted to take that step.
You want my doctor? Or you just wanna, you want me to ask around?
I mean, how was your doctor? I want to get help.
He's
she okay?
She's the best, but she's a trauma specialist. Traumatic events. So if that's what you're going through, then she's perfect. But if it's something else, I'm not sure if it's her specialty. But if it's not, she can always recommend you to someone else.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm sorry.
No problem. I'll give her a text, and if she's free now, we can go.
Yeah, is it okay if you? Do you have anything for today? I don't want you bogged down with.
Well, to be honest, I was gonna ask you if you wanted to see a movie with me, but this works too.
I mean, we could watch a movie after, I guess.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'll send a text after breakfast. Well, no, I'll send a text now and have some pancakes. Relax.
Yeah. Last full show. I don't know what the movies are right now, but last full show is always good.
Well, there's Wonder Woman, but everyone said it was sucked, so...
Well, we can laugh at it, I guess.
Yeah, but is it worth $12 to laugh at a movie?
I mean, if we enjoy it, but we'll cross
Fair.
that bridge when we get there.
Alright.
I guess.
Well, I'm just about done here, but we saved you a bunch of pancakes, all warm, with the sauce that you like. I'm gonna send a text, get a shower, and I'll let you know when you're done.
Wim looks at Haley and goes, "Hey, thanks.
No problem.
You've given me one of the first few days of normal since..." Points at chest.
She gives you a very light hug. Just making sure you're not hurt, but enough that you can feel it. She said, "Of course. I'm always gonna be here for you. No matter what."
I can't... I know we're okay, but I still feel bad that it could have died there, you know? Like...
I mean... At least I didn't shove you off the edge of a lighthouse.
That's fine. There's a lot of what could have been, you know?
That's true.
Kind of. But I'm glad we're okay.
I'm always gonna be here no matter what happens. So we'll work through it. Whatever it takes. I'm gonna make a call, you get some breakfast, and I guess we'll head over to the office if they're free.
Yeah. She's gonna wolf down all those pancakes, because pancakes are great.
There's like 7 or 8, and it takes you a bit, but you finish all of them.
Yes.
Haley's mother just kind of cooking in the side. Haley's mother just looks and says, "You know, dear, Haley did tell me that you would finish all of it, and I didn't believe her, but she told me I should cook some extra." And she just kind of gives you more on the plate and says, "Do you want the extra? You did say you would want it."
I look apologetic, like, sorry, I love
Please
pancakes.
please don't apologize. Well, apologize that I lost $5 to my daughter, but there was a bet and I told her there's no way you could eat all of it. But it doesn't matter. There's some syrup over there. Please, continue.
Takes the pancakes and she wolfs that down as well, like pancakes. Really good pancakes. Mm.
You know that feeling where you eat so much, you eat so fast that you outpace your ability to feel full.
Yep.
And then at the end of it, you sort of regret it because now you're feeling all of it.
Yep. It's just like,
it's somewhere in that range. That's in the vicinity of what you're going through at the moment, essentially. But
okay. It's fine.
Downing the
I won't move
pancakes.
for a while.
Yep.
Food coma.
Downing the pancakes and with Haley's mother's advice of just not getting up yet and not walking. It takes you a few minutes until you get up and get dressed. You were prepared to go visit here and stay over, so you have some clothes on you, unlike a certain other irresponsible member of his group. But you do get dressed, and Haley kind of tells you, Dr. Rose is in, and she said she's happy to see you in about an hour if you want to go now.
Yeah. That'll be nice.
Okay. So what you need to know is she's a trauma counselor, a specialist in traumatic experiences. She's pretty good at her job. She has this way of making you feel a little calmer. You know, over time it builds up, but initially it's a nice feeling to kind of have get things off your chest that you can't normally tell anyone else. Don't worry, don't take offense to that. Right. Her name is just kind of look and said, well, I just call her Dr. Rose, but she usually insist on being called Ashley.
Ashley? Okay. Dr.
Oh, shit.
Ashley.
It's a loud truck.
Sorry
Please have
about
it.
that.
Dr. Ashley, Dr. Rose, but yeah, her name's Ashley Rose.
Right.
You're not in condition to drive, so I called this an Uber.
Thanks, and really appreciate you, you know,
Yeah, of course.
helping me out.
Bye,
Hey.
Mom. We're gonna see Dr.
Bye.
Rose.
I
You take care, dears. I'll have dinner prepared when you get back. We might be watching a late movie. Like, oh, alright. Well, I'll
Yeah.
leave it in the fridge if you want to heat it. Thanks, Mom. Just leave. Yeah? What do you want? What do you want to talk about?
You want to go out of town, like, exactly a week from now?
I mean, where? And can you drive?
Taco. Taco's fine. He's a lot better now, and
Yeah, but you.
no, I mean, I can grab the gang. I was just thinking, like, everybody, you know, like we go out and we kind of like visit Disneyland or something. Just a week from now, exactly on the week, because weekend. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm fine going out, but again, just to where you were shot. None of us.
I mean,
Well,
we get.
Eric got his license, so you know, if you're comfortable with him driving your truck, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, within a week, I think I can manage maybe, and then we can take turns with Eric. I just kind of want to get the gang out of town.
Sounds great.
And
I can give him a call while you're meeting with Dr. Rose.
I told them, we'll go to California. That's the best Disneyland, from what I've been told. Yeah, we'll go there. That part, out of this place.
Isn't Disneyland
Yeah.
another state?
Yeah, exactly. Out of town, out of state, you know, country road trip. Taco recently got fixed, he'll handle it. Venture!
Somewhere in the middle of her date with Luke, MJ sneezes on the thought of Taco. Just someone's gonna get a car wrecked.
God, I feel like. Oh, that was a bad shiver.
Somewhere in this city, MJ just kind of starts sneezing.
Oh. I
Bad
mean,
chills, man. Bad chills.
But while you travel with her on the Uber, kind of talking, she begins to start rounding up the gang, and eventually arrive at a it's a psychiatry building. Sorry, no, it's a, what do you call those? The office
the gang
condominiums.
is there-
No, they're not.
The guys in the
No, she's just gathering them for the trip. But what I mean is,
trip.
you arrive at an office condominium, the kind of place that rents spaces to businesses, and you arrive at a floor where there are multiple psychiatry clinics. She just gestures to one of the rooms. As you enter, there's a waiting lounge inside. And while you wait here, there is a beautiful woman, probably in her 40s, the kind of woman that you would describe as having aged well, let's say. She just looks at you and then says, but first, sorry, she looks at Haley and then just, Haley, it's so good to see you up and about again. It's been a while since our session, and I must say, you're doing quite well. I'm proud of you. Thanks, Doc. And is this, Miss Knott, was it?
Wim, yeah. Wim.
Please, step in. Haley just says, I'll be right
Thanks.
outside.
Thanks, Dr. Ashley.
You step in. We don't have to play through the therapy, but I will have to ask you honestly, how much or what kind of details would you share and how much?
The trauma of getting shot still
Okay.
she's pretty shaken. She talks about her, like, more or less her hatred for guns or distaste for it, given that her dad kind of forced her into using a gun out of like fulfilling a role of protecting the family and being like, you know, I didn't have a son, so might as well you be the one carrying the gun.
Okay.
She's trying to reconcile her hatred for her father, and she talks about the time that she's still bothered at the fact that the explosion that she had with her mom at the hospital, how she kind of struggles with having to tell her mom anything. Like, even now, she hasn't told her mom that she's going to the clinic, that she's getting she wants to talk things out, and she's trying to be open with her mom, but she kind of tends to put her in after the situation happens, which she feels bad about. And she also says that, I feel like I don't have time to be with people. I feel like there's the weight of the world is on her shoulders, in a sense that she feels like something bad's gonna happen. And, like, you know, she got shot. She kind of alludes it to, I got shot, you know, something might bad happen again, probably within a week. And she's just worried she might not have time with her mom, she might not have time with Haley, and, you know, reconciling the fact that, you know, she feels like a guy, and she's, you know.
Okay. So
she just explodes to the woman. So she's been petting it up.
So essentially, all of these topics, you're not really going to be apprehensive of sharing the reasoning that you have in your head.
She
opens.
She's like, she's a stranger. I was told that I can trust her. I can unload. She's like, she doesn't know any connections in the past and stuff, so I can just unload everything to her.
Okay. I will. Before we go through this, I will roll her psychology, and depending on the result, you may gain some sanity back. So this. Okay. You may have 2 points of sanity restored.
Oh, oh my god.
This only works once a month, but you know. But throughout the session, she barely had a chance to talk, as normally she'd have to ask a number of questions and try to pry it out of you.
Yeah.
But with you, one question, basically she asks, why are you here? And you just let out everything, and you can tell while sitting on her couch, she is struggling to write down as fast as you are speaking. Like, she is she's highly attentive to the point that you can tell she's kind of, okay. And she's just writing down. When you finally finish and take a breath, like you just rapped an entire Eminem song without breathing, she just kind of looks and says, I'll be very honest with you. I have never had a patient so open with me ever. So it's a little refreshing and a little painful in the hands. But
sorry.
No, please don't apologize. It's actually refreshing, but it does tell me that I should probably learn how to type faster. She's still using a clipboard and a pen. But again, this becomes an exchange between you and her. But summarizes towards the end of it, she sort of summarizes and just, I'll tell you this, Wim. First of all, whatever struggle you're feeling with how you identify yourself, there's a number of people that go through that. You're not alone in that space, and it's easy to think that you are. But there are several people that go through it. I can connect you with a few if you like. But more to the immediate problem. I've dealt with some of our police force, a few soldiers who've gone here, people who've been shot, and I can tell you that even when their job entails danger, and even when their job is already under the assumption that they will get hurt and they will be shot, the trauma doesn't change. The feeling of getting shot is still not something pleasant. 1 second. What?
Wait, you sound muffled.
Sorry, hold on. Okay. So,
good.
she does kind of just tell you that I have a number of clients who are soldiers, police officers, people whose job it is essentially to put themselves on the line and risk being shot. It's a part of their life, and that trauma doesn't go away. What I will tell you is the best way to move forward is to look at the things that you survived. Sorry, Wim, it's a little loud in your background.
Sorry.
This kind of tells you. What I will tell you is the best way you can start to move forward, unfortunately, is just to accept it. There was a terrible thing that happened to you, and no one's denying you of that, no one's saying otherwise. But you lived through it, and there are people who are less fortunate than that. You've said that you struggled to make time with some people. I believe that you need to work around that. You certainly made time to come here, so you do have the capability of making time. Your worry is valid, but it also needs to be managed, because that worry can sometimes be the reason you won't have that time. I advise you to take things one step at a time. Perhaps on each day, try to decide who you'd like to make time for, but also make sure that you would need to make time for yourself without anyone else around. Despite popular belief, trauma can be resolved also by having some alone time to deal with it, to accept it. So why don't you try this until we meet again by your choice? Make a schedule for a week and map out the hours that you have and decide who is going to be the focus of that week, of that day. And every day try to find a different focus, whether it's yourself, whether it's Haley, your mother, or anyone at all. But the requirement is that you will have a few hours where you are the focus. And the challenge is that everyone should have some kind of time with you, whether it's a group or whether it's alone time with Haley. It will be a challenge to make it, but you have an entire week. Try to map out what you think it's going to look like. It doesn't matter if it doesn't go exactly according to plan, but the important thing is you're trying. It's always the first step. And the first step hardly ever succeeds without a hitch. I would suggest you try that first, but make sure that you also pencil in some time for yourself to really sink in what happened to you. Unfortunately, burying it down makes it worse, but dealing with it is just as hard. That's what I'm here for. I'll be here to listen if you need it. But for now, I want you to spend a week, and whatever happens after that, feel free to drop by when you want to. And then, if you feel like you still need some help after that, we can talk about scheduling a regular visit.
Thanks.
She just nods at you, and it's the... Oh, don't worry about the fee. I usually let people consult for free for the first time.
Oh, you sure?
Don't worry about it. I always consult people for free just to see how we're doing.
Thank you for listening to my shit.
Well, it is my job, but you're welcome.
Thanks, Doc, Ashley.
She just kind of looks at you and says, just remember, Wim, you need to make a schedule for everyone. It's going to be a little difficult, but that's important.
I never thought it was this easy. I thought it was going to be hard, but thank you for making it easy. I can just...
It's a first step, and she hands you a planner. In case it helps.
Okay.
She just opens. Haley just stands up and says... She just nods at Haley. Kind of calls in her next patient who's waiting. Haley looks at you and says, how'd it go?
Lots of unloading. It feels a lot better now. It's like stuff came out of my chest. Well, not literally, even there's a hole in there, but feels nice. Feel a lot better, just a wee bit, but you know.
You want to get some lunch?
Yeah. And then he opens the platter. It's like empty.
Mom gave me some spending money. Don't worry about it.
I'm planning to spend the whole day with you.
Okay, maybe don't have that much spending money.
Don't worry. I got extra cash. So what do you want to do today?
You've actually been given a small debit card that has a bunch of your salary being put in it for the initiative.
Yep. And I just show the card and go like, so what is it that you've always wanted to do but never got to do that maybe we can maybe do, and then we'll end in a movie.
She looks at the card and just, since when does the factory pay this well?
Freelancing. It's online jobs. I have to, you know, side hustle.
I need to start learning that stuff. Well, I could go for some Japanese takeout and maybe eat in the park.
Japanese takeout it is. Let's go. Ramen's good, and some sushi.
Absolutely. You guys get some food on an Uber, eat at the park. It is a lovely day with her. Eventually, throughout this day, mostly through the park, of talking about your usual stuff, school and everything else, she begins to stay quiet for a bit until she, mid-eating, just... There's I want to tell you something. After the thing in the hospital, and after we had that fight, you apologized, but I never really apologized for crossing the line. I know it's none of my business, and your mother and you, and that's all on you, and what you want to do with it is that, but I just want to say I'm sorry. I was concerned you were hurt. A lot of things went through my head and I wasn't thinking properly, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, it's fine. Gave me a lot of perspective on how I just had a selfish view on things, and I mean you saw me bleeding out at one point, and I think that just you were just looking out for me, and you kind of wanted to slap sense and like, you know, what people should usually react with. I mean, I just didn't have what you have with, you know, like kind of like a normalish shut up. I never really opened up much about the group, and even then, you guys kind of respected that I wasn't exactly socially adapted. So, I mean, I just had a lot of. I mean, like it's okay. Like shorthand, it's okay. Sorry, words start talking a lot after the clinic. Should.
It's fine. Just normal life is a stretch. Well, you know, I've only had my mother for most of my life. My dad died when I was young. I don't even remember his face. Everyone knows that, but I just know what it's like to lose someone, and there was a time when my mother had a bit of a seizure and I was scared, and there were a lot of things that I regretted that day because I thought that she was going to die. I regretted not telling her, I regretted not taking care of her, I regretted that the last thing we said to each other was terrible things, and I'm thankful I got another chance, but I just didn't want you to go through the same thing, you know? So I kind of meddled.
Fine. Like, there's a guy named Luke, kind of helped out with the hospital stuff. He kind of said something along those lines as well. You know, you don't know how much time you have with a person, and you don't want the last memory to be like them finding out you kept stuff from them, that you weren't open to them. That I think, I mean, I didn't want her to worry, and that was already the wrong thing in and of itself. People will worry for people they care about. I worry about you. I worry about the group. I worry about the people in this town.
She puts her ramen down. Kind of just looks down. Fuck it. Turns to you and basically just kisses you.
I had soda in my mouth. What the fuck? What are you doing?
Hindi na mute.
At the end of it, for about 3
Okay, so we
seconds as
lost
she
2
holds it.
members. This is...
At the end of it, as she kind of finishes up, 3 seconds in, just goes back to around it. I don't know. I've been waiting to do that for a while. I was kind of hoping you would, but I don't think you ever will. So I thought I might as well do it for you. Just eats, goes back to her ramen, fills her mouth with noodles.
Wim is not calm. He's just like frozen, like, and starts coughing, coughing in real life, choking on a noodle. Like, did you just?
Yeah, was it bad? Never really did that before, so...
Wait, brain shutting down, rebooting. That was. Okay, fine. Oh, wait, that was great. Great, thanks. Thank you. Wait, do you say that? I don't.
That's not
Uh,
usually something you say when someone. You know what? It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I'm just, shit. Should I kiss you back? I mean, if you want to. I mean, it's fair. Cause.
Don't overthink it. It's fine.
Fuck. Shit. Oh no.
Don't don't worry about it.
Wim will just lean his head on Haley's shoulder, like, ah, like he's just internally screaming, like, shit. I didn't like it though, but shit. Okay.
Just kind of tells you, don't worry about it. It's fine.
Yeah. So where do you want to go after food, sustenance? Where do you want to go?
Movie is fine.
Really, for a movie.
True. Well, to be honest, I just kind of want to hang out in this park for a bit. It's just peaceful.
Sounds like a plan. What did the guy say about Disneyland?
Oh yeah, we're all game for it, and Eric's willing to drive if you're willing to lend Taco.
Yeah, Taco's fine.
Yeah, but it's Eric.
Point. But Disneyland, that's great. At least everybody agreed to it.
Yeah. So I guess if we die, we all die together. In a car crash with Eric's bad driving.
Better that than, some kind of creature out of the water. But anyways, yeah.
Huh?
Nothing.
Okay. So he kind of lies in the grass. You ever just kind of lie down and just not think?
Wim goes quiet with that. She's spacing out.
Kind of like that, but you're supposed to lie down.
Oh wait, what? Sorry.
I was saying, have you ever lied down and just not think? Just lie down, watch the sky, listen to everything around you. It's kind of hippie to say, but just kind of sit and appreciate life, I guess is what I'm trying to get at.
I never really had time to pause and think,
I mean, we got time now.
School works, and yeah, I guess.
Come on. Just gestures to lie down next to her. Lie down. Close your eyes. Just listen to everything. Sound of the cars, the breeze of the wind, sound of children running around, giving their parents a headache, trees rustling. And just picture yourself in this place. And I don't know, it's just peaceful, I guess.
Now my head's too loud. But I'm hearing stuff.
Yeah, you don't look like the kind of person who empties their head.
Yeah, multiple tabs open.
You need to clear those things sometime. Overthinking is what gets you into trouble. From the looks of it.
Yeah. One step at a time, I guess.
One tab at a time.
Yeah.
It's a nice thought.
So, what would you do if the world was going to end in, sometime, Like you know that the world's gonna end in a certain day.
Weird question.
Thought experiments.
What would I do if the world was gonna end? Spend time with the people I love? Probably... do some things I never thought of doing. Road trip. I've never really left Lakewood. Go to a shooting range? Archery, mostly. Kind of like, you know, bows and arrows and stuff, and I guess it just calms my nerves when I do it, so... And, probably sit in some sort of bunker waiting for everything to end with people I care about. Saying it was a great ride. And if it had to end, I'm glad it's ending with them. That kind of stuff. Well, maybe a little bit of looting. You know, like you see in the news, I guess.
Yeah.
Looting sounds fun.
Black Friday without sale.
Yeah. Just a 5-finger discount.
Yeah.
I guess that's it.
Sounds simple enough.
I suppose. That's don't really have big plans, you know. I just yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Wim turns to her and just looks at her and goes, if, you know, that bunker that you were talking about, what would it look like?
I guess a regular room reinforced with steel and probably a hard drive preloaded with movies so I can watch, I don't know, The Shining while we die.
That's good. Sense.
You're asking a lot of very weird questions right now. This is kind of a strange rabbit hole we're jumping in.
Yeah, conspiracy theories. Next thing we're gonna talk about is 5G and the aliens and whatnot.
Okay.
No, I'm just having fun thought experiments, you know, like a lot of what ifs. Like,
are you starting to
what if
be like that guy from the History Channel with the weird hair and the guy who just kind of says aliens on everything?
No, just I'm not saying aliens, but aliens made me do it. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god.
I just after that talk with the doctor, Doc Ashley, she said to set aside time for the week, you know, like, you know, spend the time on who I really care about, and
Sound advice.
It just made me think about like how much time we have. You know, I was gonna die. Oh my god! Like, and Heather left so soon, and just, you know, a lot of things can make life end. So you have those thoughts, you know. Sorry for the doom and gloom. I didn't mean to be a doomer. Just I'm sorry. It's just, like you said, just try to think about life and kind of thinking about
The end of the world?
The in between before the end, yeah. Just never really knew how to deal with that, you know? I always wanted to buy more time.
Okay. Yeah, I get it. Just rest her head on your shoulder while you're lying down on the grass.
Really?
Yeah?
If I haven't said it yet, and I don't know. I know we're probably gonna see each other the next few days, but just in case, I don't, like, you know, something happens to me or whatever stuff, just know that I'd spend the remaining days of my life with you. And I may not have much, but I'll give all I have. Bad humor, lots of talking, overthinking, you know, all the fun stuff. Comes with the package.
Oh, stop. You know how to make a girl. You know how to sweep a girl off her feet, don't you?
I think you're gonna. Got you, didn't I?
Yeah. It sounds nice. I love that.
I don't know how. Yeah, and I don't know how to say I love you straight, so there you go. I'm not straight either. Oh. Then,
well, lucky for you, an arrow is the only thing I can shoot straight. Let's go get that movie, yeah?
Yeah. Sure.
You get a movie, not a lot of good selections. At some point, you just give up and decide, yeah, let's just laugh at Wonder Woman for $12 each. It's bad.
Yeah.
It just gets bad. Gal Gadot being hot does not make up for it. It's just terrible.
And they had Pedro Pascal. Like, yeah, he was a great actor. And he doesn't look nice without the mustache.
He played the part well, but you know, you really can't save a bad movie when it's a bad movie.
Yep.
At that point, you can examine everyone's evenings. MJ. Oh, just in time. MJ, at the end of this lovely day with Luke, he brings you back home. Unless you'd prefer to spend again in his house, but by default he assumes you're going home. It's closed.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go home.
As he brings you back home, your father's waiting outside. As he leads you to the front door, your father just says... He doesn't say anything, just looking at both of you. Then he looks at Luke specifically, and then just kind of... He has that look like, well, like kind of... And then Luke just says... Yes, sir, I asked her. And... He takes your hand and then just shows the ring. He has a big smile on his face and hugs both of you. I've never been happier. Also,
Yeah.
just so you know, Kev lightly, jokingly bops your head. It's about
Ow.
fucking time. Luke just laughs a bit. And then he slaps his head too with a backhand. Don't laugh. I've been rooting for you since high school, and I never thought you were fucking interested, you know that? Why are you, sir?
The nerve he thought I was gay.
Your father just looks away.
Yeah, that's fair. You also thought I was gay at some point too, you son of a...
I told you I accept you for who you are, you know. I don't judge, but I don't want to force you to say... I don't want to force you to say...
That's enough of an implication to tell me what you're thinking, Dad. And although I have nothing against it, again, I'm bi. Just setting that clear.
So here's what's gonna happen. Future son-in-law puts his hand on Luke. You're gonna go home. You're gonna grab some clothes. You're going to stay here, and while MJ's asleep in her room, you and I are gonna have a man chat about her entire life story.
Oh my god, I was afraid of this.
Luke just kind of looks and says, I'll bring you beer, Mr. Stone, if you bring me baby pictures. Deal. They just shake on it.
Come on! I'm going inside, like I'm grabbing the baby photos and say, take them from my cold dead hands, then I'm gonna run to my room.
I have a digital copy